Hey there ladies and gentlemen, I'm Reload and I'm playing EVE Online. Continuing on with the Factional Warfare, I wanted to talk about the defensive and offensive plexing. Before I started playing in Factional Warfare, I wasn't even aware that there's a difference. In the very first video of the series, I was actually doing some offensive plexing on the first day, but turns out you can actually defend the outpost of your militia as well. So let's talk about defensive plexing first. You can warp to any outpost in the system owned by your militia and then simply wait out the countdown. This makes it the easiest form of plexing because you actually do not have to fight the NPC. That NPC is part of your militia. But naturally, because of the lower risk, you will receive a lot less loyalty points as a reward for defending your outpost. The actual reward depends on how much the system is actually contested. A stable system will give you 0 LPs, whereas even the most contested system will give you only 75% of LPs compared to the same outpost in enemy territory. For example, in this case I got only 145 loyalty points, making the system stable after I defended this outpost. As usual, lower risk means lower reward. That's why personally I'd recommend that you stick to the offensive plexing. It will take a little bit more time because you have to kill all the NPCs, but the LP rewards are much higher. There's also a slightly higher risk of running into enemy players, considering that you have to operate in the enemy territory, but the risk can be easily mitigated depending on how you run these outposts. Since the capture radius is 30 kilometers around the outpost, you can easily position yourself far away enough from the warp and beacon. I personally like to be more than 20 kilometers away from the beacon. That puts me out of the warp disruptor range. This way, if any ships show up that you don't want to fight, you can easily warp out. Of course, don't forget about using your D-scan, and it definitely helps to stay aligned to a celestial. In any case, as I mentioned before, the loyalty points payout is much higher for the offensive plexing. This time I managed to receive 10,000 loyalty points. It was exactly the same type of an outpost, just a little bit more time spent destroying the NPCs. Of course, if you don't care about the loyalty points and are after the faction standings, then it doesn't matter whether you conquer or defend an outpost. You will receive exactly the same faction standings boost. In my case it was 0.60%. One more thing to be aware of when you're running the outposts or just running the Factional Warfare in general is the faction tier of your militia. The higher is the tier, the higher are the loyalty points that you will receive. Tier 2 is the base amount of loyalty points rewards, and at tier 1 you will actually get a penalty of 50%. But starting at tier 3 you will get an increase of 75% per each tier. So it's really beneficial for you to try to get a high tier for your faction militia. Each system controlled by your faction equals to 1 faction tier point, with additional points for every system upgrade. Then the faction tier is determined by the total number of points available in the war zone. So long story short, capturing systems really helps you increase your rewards. Just to summarize, defensive plexing is faster and a little easier, although it comes with much lower rewards. If you're defending your outposts, make sure that you do not attack the NPCs, they are on your side. Also, if the system is stable, don't even worry about defending your outpost. You will not be rewarded for it. As for the offensive plexing, it will take a little bit longer to conquer the outpost because of the NPCs, but the loyalty points rewards will be much higher. And don't worry about the increased risk of operating in the enemy territory. After all, Factional Warfare is all about PvP. If you're not ready to fight anybody yet, just make sure that you stay away far enough from the warp and beacon. And don't forget to always monitor local and your D-scan. Thanks so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe for more EVE Online and other gameplay videos. Safe flying out there.